So I don't know. And then you find a woman that you're not even really attracted to, and she's like not bad looking, but like that, like she's not a woman that you, if your friends find you, you will quickly say, "This is my girl." We've been dating for this amount of time. You wouldn't quickly say that. It will be more of like, "This is my friend," because because the truth is, as men, the type of woman you date, or like if you introduce your woman to other people, you want them to be like, "Bro, how did you get her?" Like, you feel me? Like that ego. Like, men have that kind of ego, like, because you want people, because we know having a gorgeous woman by your side is like kind of like a status symbol, if we're going to be honest. Every man wants people to find him with a gorgeous woman, and makes you feel like you want a trophy of some sort. You feel me? So sometimes you may find yourself with a woman that you really connect with in terms of compatibility. Like, you feel like everything, there's a good connection in terms of she respects you. Maybe she even submissive. Maybe she cooks. She does everything that you like. But it's like, that attracted to her. And it's like, that's the tough part about relationships. Because the woman you really want, the woman you really find really like attractive, it's very rare to get a woman who's like really attractive, and she respects you, and she's kind to you, and she does things for you. Usually, if she's really very attractive, she's gonna have a few things. Maybe she doesn't respect you, or maybe she doesn't. There's something usually lacking. It's very hard to find. I mean, they obviously there are some guys who you're going to find. They have women, drop drop dead gorgeous women, very beautiful women who are kind, respectful, and all those things. But I'm just saying, it's very, very, very rare to find a woman who has all those things. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be very hard to find a woman like that. You know? Am I right? Have you guys run into that issue? Because you're more likely to find, the chances are you're going to find a woman who is average and you guys connect, and she respects you and she's nice and all those things, rather than finding a woman who's a drop dead gorgeous, but she doesn't respect you. In other words, you're more likely to find an average woman who you're very, how do I put it? You're more likely to find an average. So let's say you approach 10 women. If 7 of them are average, you're more likely to find 7 of those women you approach to be average, and they're more likely to be nice to you compared to finding a drop dead gorgeous woman who is going to be nice to you. Like, she won't have the bad attitude, is what I'm trying to say. And you guys know it. Now, you won't be as much as attracted, or you'll be scared of even, you know, introducing her to your friends, because guys, because if you guys have male friends, they may clown you. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, Boogie, what kind of woman is this? Are you bringing? Like, oh, like, you can do better." You feel me? The same way women clown themselves, or like if one of their friends gets like a short guy, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's ugly, leave him." Or maybe one of their friends gets a guy, and he's not as rich. Her friends will be like, "Oh, you should get a guy who's rich. How come he doesn't take you out? How come he doesn't buy you gifts?" Things like that. So for men, we are more concerned about, like, when we have our friends telling us, "Oh man, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, she's a body," things like that. Men are more concerned with the beauty. But now, long term, the beauty can only go so far. Long term, the most gorgeous women that you meet are probably going to have the attitude, because I mean, so many guys want them. They're going to have the attitude because they know they have the options. They know something Boogie won't do, another man will do, because they are gorgeous. Most guys want them. You feel me? So I mean, that's what happens these days. So as a man, you have to make a choice. Are you going to settle with an average woman and she's more likely to respect you and not have a bad attitude? The same way a guy who doesn't have money is more likely to deal with a woman's BS. Like, the things I will deal with when I have a woman, I'm more likely to accept a woman's BS and issues. I'm more likely to allow a woman to disrespect me compared to a man like Drake or Chris Brown. Why? Because Chris Brown has plenty of women. Because Chris Brown has plenty of money. And that's the thing with men. So when a man has money, he's more likely to not accept a woman's BS, a woman's disrespect, because he has money and other women want his money, which means he has more access to other women. So he can easily replace a woman who doesn't respect him. The same thing happens to a woman. When she's average looking, she's more likely to be with an average man because she can't attract the kind of men she wants. But when she's drop dead gorgeous, bro, you have to be very lucky to find a drop dead gorgeous woman who's going to accept you and your BS. Unless you got some money, then she may respect you and not, you know, cause all kinds of chaos. Have you guys run into that issue? What's up, guys? I see you guys in the chat. Comment down below. I want to see where you guys are watching from, what's going on, how's your Sunday going. We're just having a conversation about relationships, and should men just deal with women who have bad attitude, or should they give up on relationships, or should they just try, to try maybe different races of women rather than black women? Because black women are not changing. Black women are saying, we have our attitude, you either deal with it or you fuck off. That's what they're literally saying. You feel me? So let's see. So what are you guys doing? Are you dealing with the attitude, or are you gonna find you a white woman? Are you gonna find you a Asian woman? Some guys are going to Brazil. You know, are you? Or you can get some more money. When you have some more money as a man, you don't have to deal with lots of BS. You don't have to deal with lots of. Now I'm not. Well, when you have money as a man, I believe you don't have to deal with much BS, or tolerate so much BS from women, because you have the money, which means more women are going to want you, which means you have the confidence, because some guys keep talking about how, oh man, if you're just confident, the women will come. But as men, the truth is, a man is just not born confident just like that. He's either confident because he's good looking. A man might be confident because he's tall. He may be confident because he has money. He might be confident because he's good at basketball or good at playing soccer. Men, we are confident because of something. You're not born confident. That's what I believe. Some guys believe you're born confident. I believe as a man, your confidence depends on something. You feel me? You're not just confident for the sake of it as a man. That's what I believe. As a man, you're confident depending on some attribute you have. Now, I believe the general attribute that makes men confident is usually money. That's why we all just want to keep making more money, because women respect it. For example, if women didn't care about men's height, then the tall guys wouldn't be confident about it, because what are you confident about? Women don't care. That's why it's very hard to find a broke man who's confident, even if he's tall. That's why a woman would literally choose a Kevin Hart who's short, but because he has money, rather than a tall guy who's 7 feet, but he's broke. So at the end of the day, I believe men's confidence comes from somewhere. Guys, comment down below. You guys are watching me. I want to know. I want to have a conversation with you. Comment down below in the chat. Let's see what you guys think about. You see what's scrolling on the screen. You can see the question: should men accept black women's attitude? Should they stay single? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think some guys are not. I know some guys are gonna stay single. If we're gonna be honest, some guys are gonna choose to stay single, but some guys love toxic relationships. So I believe some guys are okay. For example, if you as a guy, if you grew up in a very toxic household, maybe you grew up with your mom, she was always being loud, always disrespecting you, spanking you, maybe switching men every now and then, maybe your sisters. In other words, you really didn't grow up with a father figure in the house. Such guys might be okay with dealing with a woman's bad attitude. But as a man, if you grew up in a household where it's like very peace and quiet, no toxicity in the household, you are more likely to not deal with a woman who brings you bad energy and bad attitude. But at the end of the day, men love sex. So, guys, if we're gonna be honest, men love sex, and if we're gonna be honest, some of you guys are probably going to lie, but guys do think with their small heads, if you know what I mean. You know, guys think with their small heads, which means most guys, I don't want to say most guys, but I believe some guys are not in toxic relationships. You know, those toxic relationships where it's like arguments after arguments with a woman. I don't believe all guys are in those type of relationships because they can't walk away or because they grew up in the single mother households. Some guys are in toxic relationships because they love sex, and I think that's a thing that has controlled most of us or has made us make bad decisions, the love for sex. And some of you guys probably don't want to face the truth, but I believe if a man can control his love for sex, he has conquered half the world, half the battles, the challenges of this world. And you guys ever notice the moment as a man you decide that you're just going to do your own thing, you're not chasing women, you're just going to focus on yourself, you're not even thinking about sex? For some reason, that's when women come and women want you. It's funny how that works every single time. If you think I'm kidding, take 6 months off. I know it's tough to do, especially if you're not a virgin, but try to take 6 months off and decide that, you know what, I'm not going to have sex or chase women at all for 6 months. First of all, you're going to save money for those 6 months because you're not going out on date, you're not trying to impress any woman. So that's one thing. But most importantly, you are going to focus. But for some reason, once you're not chasing the women come to you. They may not even come to you like that, but all right. All right, I got a comment from Emmanuel. Let's see. All right, Emmanuel says men should never accept a woman with bad attitude. It's in his best interest to seek for a fulfilled life through his position or career, and then he will attract the woman he desires. I agree. Emmanuel, I agree. Men should never accept a woman with bad attitude. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. There are two choices left. Either, like you said, through his passion or his career, then he will attract the women he desires. But here's the thing, even some guys who have money are complaining about the same issue, Emmanuel. If you're going to be honest, guys who have money are also complaining about women's bad attitude. And it could be because women know they can always get another guy with money, even if we know the statistics show it's not so many guys with money. But it's like women don't even respect guys with money. If you guys know Tom Brady, American football player, recently retired, his own wife cheated on him with a personal trainer. She left him and got pregnant with a personal trainer. That just shows you that the money itself doesn't just solve the issue. Because for me, I believe one of the ways you may not have to accept a woman's bad attitude, if if you have several of them, though at the end of the day, you have to choose as a man. Is it going to be your peace of mind? Because as men, man, there's nothing as annoying as trying to to come back home and your woman is gonna argue with you or nag you about some shit that you didn't even do. That's so annoying. Like going back home and she's gonna start a fight out of the blue. Like that's why some guys don't want to go home. Some guys go home late because they want to go home because they are expecting to find the woman sleeping, so she doesn't have to start a fight. You feel me? Yeah, but Emmanuel, you're right. Once you focus on your mission, your career, your passion, you're more likely than not to attract the woman that you want. But here's the thing, Emmanuel, right? The woman that you attract, the woman that you desire, chances are, is she a feminist or does she have any feminist tendencies? That's number one. Number two, does she have friends? Usually she has friends. Then we ask the question, are the friends feminists? Do they have feminist ideas? Because we know how when a woman has friends, even if she pretends to be a good woman, usually the friends she hangs with, they are going to say all sorts of things when you guys get into a relationship. Because women usually run to their friends, to their female friends. Let's say you're dating a woman and you guys get into arguments, get into issues. The woman never runs to the brother, right? The woman never runs to the woman never runs to the father. The woman never runs to male friends. Sometimes they do if the male friends want her, but most times if you get into an issue with your girlfriend, she's going to run to her female friends, and usually they are single and they're jealous. They may be because she's spending time with you, so she's not spending time with him. So they're going to mess up the relationship. They're going to tell her all kinds of BS, right? Because usually they don't want, because they know she's going to be spending more time with you. She's going to cancel plans on them. So they're going to say the worst of things. That's why most guys don't like when their woman has female friends, because they're usually going to, they're never going to say anything positive about you. Usually they're going to say the most crazy BS, unless they are in relationships themselves and their men are going to keep them busy. Right? So Steven is saying there's only two options here. Either deal with them or leave them alone. Period. I agree. Well, two options. I don't know, Steven. I think it could be 2.5 options or 3 options. And this is what I mean. Option number one, like you said, leave them alone. But for how long? Because at the end of the day, as men, unless you're going to be monk for the rest of your life, God didn't create us to be by ourselves, if we're going to be honest, as a man, especially if you've had a woman before. We know how there's we know how that feeling is like when you're in love, or you really like a woman, you guys spend time together, the sex, like the energy. If we're gonna be honest, there's that energy you get when you're in love with a woman. It's just different. It's not like being with your homeboys. I'm talking about a woman that you guys connect with. She's not like she's not toxic. She motivates you, she inspires you, she never says nothing crazy to make you feel bad. There's something about that energy. I don't know what God did, but if we're gonna be honest, there's something about that kind of energy. You feel me? So, Stephen, yes. Number one, you can leave them alone, right? Option two, you can deal with them, but you gotta have like boundaries. That's why I say two and a half. Just dealing with them doesn't mean you should accept the way they behave. That's why some guys may have multiple women, some guys may change them, some guys may rent them, you know, because some guys just rent them because it's like if you know what I mean when I say rent, you pay, she gets the job done and she leaves. You don't have to deal with the attitude because she knows she's there for a reason, which at the end of the day, even in a normal relationship, you're paying. If we're going to be honest, you're paying something. Some guys believe that the people who pay, like, for sex and things like that, oh, it's bad. But at the end of the day, a wise man once said, CGS said, every man pays. You pay one way or another, indirectly or directly. But the thing is, once you pay directly and you're buying something, you miss out on that emotion that I was just explaining. Like, if you guys have ever been in love, yo, bro, that feeling is, I don't know what God did. And I think that's the feeling that gets most guys in trouble. Apart from the sex, the next feeling that gets men in trouble is the feeling of love. Because, us men, we love for real. It's not just, women can love you today and tomorrow they don't love you no more. For me, I don't believe women really love men, you know, but I believe men love for real. So if you've been in love, if you're gonna be honest as a man, if you've ever been in love, like you love this woman, you can do anything for her, like that shit, man. That shit feels good if she reciprocates. Because if she's not giving you the same love back, then it just sucks. It just hurts. All right, let's see. Um, what's up, music man? I see you in the chat. All right, Emmanuel, what are you saying? He says you are right about that. Doesn't solve the problem, but it is half the battle, because once you have resources and connections, then you are the one doing the selection. You're right. I think the money. Somebody said this is. I didn't come up with this, but somebody said that a man's money is like makeup for women. I'm going to say that again. A wise man once said that a man's money, like when a man has money, it's the equivalent of a woman getting a BBL or putting on makeup, literally. And I believe that for sure. Because you know how you may see a woman walking down the street with no makeup. Yeah, she's not bad looking. She's okay. But you may not care. You're like, she looks average. I'm not even gonna approach her. She's not dressed. She's just in jeans, slippers, sandals. You don't care. Hair is not made up. You don't care, right? And then, but you meet that same woman 2 weeks from now, and she's all done up in a nice dress, nice shoes, makeup on fleek, nice hair. And you're gonna look at her different. You're gonna be like, what? Is this the same woman? So that same feeling is almost like what women see when they see you when you're broke, and then they see you when you have money. So that's why the guy said that a man's money is like a woman's makeup. All right. Steven says you can't live with them, and you can't without them. So then, Steven, so what do you do? So you can't live with them, and you can't. Yeah, because once you live with them, are you talking about live with them like in the same house, in the same room? You guys are renting. You guys have a house. Yeah, because if you have ever lived with a woman, the things you were doing when you were single. It's not the same things that you're doing when you're with a woman in the same house or renting or in a house or in a room apartment, right? Because when you're single as a man, you can literally get up and you're like, okay, I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna go get my workout in. I got all these plans for the day and things like that. But when you live with a woman, you get up. Now, instead of being worried about the things you gotta do, now you have to be worried about the things she has to do or the things she wants to do, because now you have to think about her. What does that do to you as a man? It sets you back, because now let's say you have to go to the gym and then you look on the side and she has no panties on, she's walking around naked in the house, you're gonna be thinking, oh my God, let me just get in one more round. And before you know it, you can't go to the gym. You feel me? But when you live by yourself, you just get up, you go to the gym. You don't have those distractions. So you have to make a choice as a man. Am I going to live with her and know that for some things that like the productivity I need, I'm going to be like running at 60%? Or should I be by myself and try to run at 100% productivity? Because the woman is going to slow you down, like it or not. It's going to be very, very hard for you to move at a fast pace or follow through your dreams and your plans if you live with a woman. She's going to slow you down. That is the truth. If it's not giving you the good, you got plans. Let's say you got plans with your boys, but she's like, babe, don't leave me. Now you can't go see your boys because you got to stay with her. Right? Let's say, because some guys even go on vacations, but most guys don't even want to travel like that. Guys who travel with their women, 99% chance it's the woman who said, babe, let's take a trip. Most guys don't like, as men, we like to do the same shit. Like, we don't want to be traveling and here and Mexico and Brazil. Like, we can just take a road trip and come back with our boys. Like, we don't want to spend money like that. Most guys who spend money on trips like that, if they're in a relationship, chances are it's the woman who was suggesting those things. So you're right, man. But clearly living with a woman is going to set you back as a man. If we're going to be honest, if you're going to be 100% honest, if you live with a woman, she's going to slow you down. It's going to take you, because you have to make a choice. Either you're going to always, so she's going to be asking you to do things for her, to hang out with her, to go out with her, because she doesn't want to stay. Most women just don't want to stay in the house, because a man can stay in the house from morning to evening and just stay in the house. Most women don't want to stay in the house. You feel me? So if we know that most women always want to be doing something because they're social, they're very social, they want to always be doing something, right? So as a man, you have to make a choice. Either every time she asks to do something, you're going to say no 80% of the time, which means you're going to piss her off, which means it may lead to the end of the relationship, which means sometimes no sex because you said no to something that she wanted. So you got to think about all those things as a man before you live with a woman. So, and if you say no, that means you're going to be more productive on yourself, on your passions. Like Stephen was saying, you're focusing more on your career, whatever you got going on. But if you say yes more, now you are running the chance of being a doormat, because she knows you are a yes man. You say yes to everything she says. So it's tough, man, living with a woman, right? So Emmanuel says, good point, man. Man is not meant to be alone. The problem is the system in the West world. That's why Africa is a good place to have marriage with boundaries. But Emmanuel, sure, Africa is good to find a woman marriage. It's still good. But let's be honest now. Feminism is spreading in Africa like a wildfire. Like 10 years ago, the feminism in Africa 10 years ago is not the same like to 2025, especially with social media. Everything they see Nicki Minaj doing in America, everything they see Cardi B doing in America, everything they see Megan Stallion twerking and things like that, they are doing it. So the chances are, unless you're in Africa and you get a woman from deep down in the village with no electricity and no phones and nothing, chances are the woman you marry right now in Africa from the ages of 20 to the ages of 40, she's probably going to have a little bit of feminism, a little bit of Cardi B, a little bit of Slay Queen, a little bit, which means you're running the chance of, having to deal with the same headaches. If I'm going to be honest, you have to be okay with the fact that it's more likely than not that the woman you're going to find in Africa in 2025 is also going to have a sprinkle of feminism, of independent, strong woman, don't need no man, a little bit of it, unless she was raised in a good household, unless she was raised in a two-parent household where she respects the father. Even then, if let's say you get her from deep down in the village, right? Usually no electricity, maybe she doesn't have access to Instagram like that, she doesn't have access to TikTok, because these days women get their relationship advice on TikTok from other women. If you get her from deep down in the village and you bring her to the city, guess what? She's going to make friends in the city. And guess what? Slowly by slowly, she's going to have those ideas and the mindset is slowly going to change. You feel me, Emma? So, yes, you're right. But the chances, time is running out, in other words. Steven says, let's see. That's the problem. That's the problem. Thinking with the other head. But we are human, Stephen. As men, unless you're a virgin, we are human. If you've been intimate before as a man, you know, like God wasn't dumb. The reason me, you, and I exist on this earth is because people love to have sex. If people didn't like sex, I wouldn't be born. You wouldn't be born. You feel me? So that's the reason. That's literally the reason. So you're right. Men, especially men, like a woman would literally be wet, dripping for you, and she will say no. And she will even show you that she doesn't like you. I'm telling you guys, a woman will literally want you, be attracted to you, be overhead, over the heels for you, head over heels for you, dripping wet, like punani dripping wet. And she will say no. But men on the other side, like the way God created us, if a man is horny, you see it to just come up, boom. There are very few guys who are ever going to say no to a woman they're attracted to and they're horny. Women will. You feel me? That's the difference. Women will, men won't. Emma says, I get your point about the point about I get your point. Men love a sexual or intimate life. It's natural. The only thing, that's why you communicate with your wifey so that you plan in the bedroom activity. Yeah, but Emmanuel, listen. You may communicate with your wife, but the communication cannot come after you guys have started dating. You have to communicate from the beginning of the relationship. And then listen, you don't tell a woman, respect me, and that's it. You literally have to keep telling her every now and then, especially if the type of friends she has don't have the same mindset. Because there's some good women out here, but the friends they have are the issue. You feel me? The friends they hang out with are literally the issue. Their friends may give them a bad mindset or may give them bad advice, because women really listen to other friends, to their friends. They care so much about what other women have to say. So you're right, but what type of friends does your woman have? All right, G says, you guys are either making poor relationship choices or you are simps. G, it's so easy for you to say that. I don't like when men act like they're so perfect, unless you are married to the first woman you dated, unless you've never been in heartbreak, unless every woman you talk to says yes. I don't like when other men make it seem like they're perfect. Every man makes mistakes, and that's what helps us grow. So, G, I don't agree with you. Let's see. Hannah says, we just had 12 children, one after another. They determined our future. Our future. We wouldn't do anything or go anywhere without our children. Too much pleasure and no replenishing. Hannah, I don't understand what you're trying to say. I completely don't understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, but the thing is, like, women's attitude is not getting any better, if we're going to be honest, right? Chances are, if a woman already has bad attitude at the age of 25, she's more than likely going to keep the same attitude for the next 20, 25 years. Meaning all down into her 40s and 50s. Now, at around 45, 50, she may change and be like, you know what? I've been so mean. and I need to be a better woman and things like that. Some of them, I'm not saying all of them, get to that realization of thinking about the mistakes they made with the men they're supposed to be with. Because I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but a very popular content creator that I follow, Anton Daniels, I heard him say this first. He said most women have literally, I'm talking about from the age of any woman who's age 30 and above and single, has literally passed on the guy she was supposed to be married to. That's what I believe, and that's what Anton said. And when I thought about it, I'm like, that makes sense. If you meet a woman who's 30 years old or older, chances are she met the good guy she was supposed to get married to, and she let him go for whatever reason, whether he was short, whether he didn't have enough money for her, whether he was whatever, whether he was just a nice guy, whatever reason she gives you. If you meet a woman who's 30 years plus and she's single, chances are the guy she was supposed to be with, she passed him on. Because there is no way, because remember, women get attract men. We're going to count from 18 years old. We would go to high school, but let's count from 18 years old. So a woman from 18 all the way to 30 or plus, that's almost 10, 15 years plus of men approaching her. Are you really telling me in all those years that she didn't meet any good man? Are you telling me that in 15 years, this woman is 35, that God was so bad to this woman and he didn't make her meet any nice man, any marriage material type of man? Because remember, the men approach the woman. She always, there is no single week unless, even though the woman you want to say she's not good looking, even those women have men approaching them, right? So if we know that women are constantly getting approached every single week, maybe even sometimes every single day, depending on how they dress, how they take care of themselves. But like I said, even the woman you think is not good looking, she also gets men approaching her. So you're telling me in 15 years, there is no good man that approached this woman? If you're saying that, then the devil is a liar. I'm telling you. So that's why I'm saying, if you meet a woman who's 30 plus and she's saying that no good men out here, best believe in those 15 years, God sent her, even if it's one good guy, sometimes it's more than even two good guys, sometimes it's five good guys, but she let him go because, oh, he was too short. Oh, he was not funny enough. Oh, he didn't spend money on me. Sometimes they actually reject guys before they even get to know them. You know how they do that? Oh, he didn't take me to an expensive dinner date. Because sometimes as a guy, you may be like, you know what? Let's go on a coffee date. And she's like, no, I'm not cheap. A real man takes me on an expensive dinner date. So most women have passed on the good guy that they were supposed to be with, their husband. They have passed on several husbands sometimes. Unlike guys, as men, we have to approach. So chances are I'm going to get rejected more than once. Chances are, even when I'm really into a woman, if you guys want to be honest, most times women break up with us. Very few guys break up with women. Like for a man to break up with a woman, she must have done something crazy, like something like like maybe always arguing with you, starting a fight, something, she cheated on you, whatever the reason is. It's very tough for a guy to break up with a woman. That's why even some guys will stay in sexless relationships, sexless marriages. It's very, very hard for a man to break up with a woman. So if you meet a woman and she's single, 30 years old plus, trust me, she has met some good guys. So that's why you have to ask yourself as a guy, okay, if she has met all these good guys and she couldn't keep any of them, what makes me think she's actually gonna stay with me? Like, what are you doing so different that Boogie didn't do? Because chances are she has met guys who have money, right? Because trust me, in those 15, 20 years, sometimes she has met guys who have money. She has met guys who are tall. She has met guys who have taken her on trips. She has met guys who have sent her flowers on the first date. She has met guys who have taken her to expensive dinner dates. She has met guys who have done all these things for her. So what makes you different? What makes you think you're the Prince Charming? What makes you think she won't leave you? You feel me? And these are all the things you have to think about. Like, a woman has to give you a very compelling reason why she's single. Because every time I think about it, I'm like, if I was a woman and have all these guys approaching me, I would probably also never want to settle down. Because Boogie's gonna take me on a trip. I'm gonna have John sending me money for no reason because I'm beautiful. Some men do that. They send women money because they're beautiful. And then I'm gonna have this guy who's taking me to a dinner date. I'm gonna have this guy who may want to buy me a car. I'm gonna have this guy who's gonna do me all these things. And I'm gonna have the guy with a good dick. So women have all these constant options. Guess what? In 20 years, she's not gonna want to settle down with Boogie, who's just a nice guy, and that's it. And then in 20 years, she's gonna look around and be like, oh my God, where are all the good guys? But it's like she didn't even see the good guy because she was looking in so many directions. All right. So G says, you guys are either making, yeah, I read that. I read that too. Steven says, a woman is not going to accept a man's bad attitude. So why should make men accept the woman's? A woman will accept a guy's bad attitude if he has the money. A woman will accept a guy's bad attitude if the money is right, if the spending is right. Because it's not just having the money, you gotta be willing to spend it. Because trust me, women will call you broke, even if your bank account looks good. They'll only call you broke if you're not willing to spend it. Right? That's how a woman would rather deal with a guy who has no more money, who spends it on her, rather than with a millionaire who doesn't spend it. Yeah, trust me. She will choose Boogie with his average money, but I'm buying out all these things. I'm emptying my bank account to impress her. And then she will leave the millionaire alone because he doesn't want to spend the money. She will do that. Trust me. Right? The same way men will deal, and that's what I was talking about in the beginning of the live stream. I was asking guys. Most guys will deal with a woman's bad attitude if she's gorgeous, if she gives him great sex. Some guys will deal with that. And we know, guys, put down in the chat, if we're gonna be honest, guys deal with every day with women with bad attitude because they're good looking. The same way women deal with guys who they don't really like, but because they got money, it's the same thing with men as men. We deal with women because they're good looking. Even if she has the worst attitude, even if she disrespects him, if she's good looking, some guys just go for it. They don't care. If we're going to be honest. All right, Emma, what is Emma saying? Another thing is men have to go for what they want, especially, wait, men have to go for what they want, especially now in this generation. That's why a high value man is a good factor. Yeah, men have to go for what they want. That's definitely true. The women, oh, Emma is saying the women don't all the time in the world. The options are when they're in their prime. Say a woman of quality would put herself forward for marriage. That is an important point. They don't have the options all the time. No, man. If a woman looks good, keeps herself in shape, because let's be honest, most times the women that you think they're not good looking, it's because they're not in shape. Have you guys met a woman who was like overweight, pretty face, overweight? You're like, nah, I ain't dealing with that. And then you see her 2 years later and she dropped like 100 pounds. She dropped like 50 kgs. And you look at her and you're like, holy mother of God. Just because she dropped 50 kgs and the curves come out and you're like, oh my God, who the hell is this? And yeah, so most women, in my opinion, if they could get in shape and keep themselves in shape, especially as they get older, because I think for men, as we get older, our money has to increase. And then for the women, as they get older, their weight has to decrease or at least maintain. So that's the thing we struggle with as men and women. Women struggle to stay in shape as they get older, and to because weight usually affects how your face structure is, your bone structure, your jaw structure, things like that. For women, obviously the curves. If a woman is really overweight, it takes out the curves. She will just be like straight line box, right? But if she's in shape, she's in good weight, the curves come out. So as women get older, they have to make sure they stay in shape, right? As men, as we get older, we gotta make money. We stack the paper, stack the money. So those are the two things. Obviously, for men, it's harder to stack the money because that means you have to work long hours, maybe start a business, some luck in there and there, whatever. So I believe that's where women have. That's what I'm saying. Even if a woman is getting older, she technically still has an advantage over a man because a 45-year-old man, if you don't have money, 45-year-old women don't want to deal with you. Younger women don't want to deal with you, right? But if a woman is 45, sure, we men her age may not want to deal with her because she's not in shape, but younger guys will deal with her. So that's why I believe unless a man has money, there is no way you have a better chance than a woman at all in a man's lifetime. The only equalizer, which I think, Emmanuel, you mentioned yourself, the only equalizer between men and women is the money. Like as a man, if you don't really have money like that, you can't do nothing about women. You can't say shit. You can't tell them nothing. Like I don't care if you're a tall guy, I don't care if you're the most handsome looking guy in the world. If you don't have money, even the most basic average looking woman is better than you. Because the thing that really women used to really judge you, you don't have. Sure, you're a good looking guy, you're tall, you may have a few women give you some sex every now and then, but how many women are introducing broke men to their family members? How many women, they may even have babies with them, but they're never proud of them. That's why they never stay. They never introduce them. Oh my God, meet my husband. He's a broke, dusty guy. No, she. Do you know what they call those kind of guys that? Because just because a guy is broke doesn't mean he doesn't get women, or it doesn't mean women don't give him sex. They do give him sex. He doesn't stick around. Maybe she has a baby with him because he's tall but he's broke. She calls them. They call those guys deadbeats. They call them dusty. They call them broke. That's why once a woman has a kid with a guy who's broke, but because she had sex with him because he was tall, guess what? When she gets older, guess what kind of guy she wants to get to take care of her kids? The rich guy. You see? That's why when you see women that have single moms, right? That's why so many times you see single moms, they have couple kids with the bad boys, and then when they become 45 or 35 or whatever age, when they get older, they're like, I now know my worth. I raise my standards. I know what I want. They never say, I want the same broke guy I had babies with. Now they claim they know their standards because now they want the guy with the money to be the stepfather. So at the end of the day, that's why personally, I'm never really jealous of the bad boys who get women, or the bad boys, the bad boy persona, the gangsters, the hood guys who get women like that. Because long term, the women don't want them. They want them for that time, but long term, the women don't really want them like that because there is no stability. Now, I'm not telling you guys that, hey, now that she has had a couple of babies with the bad boys, you should accept her. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that just because, you know, she had babies with the bad boy doesn't mean she wants the bad boy forever. You feel me? The same way, guys, today I'm going to be doing these live streams, but I'm just going to be dropping real facts about men as well. So just because you as a guy, you had sex with a big overweight woman doesn't mean that's the type of woman you want to be with for the rest of your life. Are we going to be honest? It doesn't mean that. You had her for the moment. So even women have sex with bad boys for the moment. But it doesn't mean they want to keep them long term. The same way guys have sex with big girls, it's just for the moment. That's what they can do for that moment. But long term, you want, a nice IG body, you want a nice IG model long term as a man. You feel me? So it's just, I think it's the phases. The only issue is you as a man, the women will have the bad boys, but they still expect you. They will reject you for the bad boy when you guys are younger, 20s, high school, maybe even early 30s. They will reject you for the bad boys. And then 10 years later, when you guys are 40, and here she is, Hey, big head, I know you used to like me. What are you doing? Things like that. Now she wants you to accept her. And it's like, no, no, you didn't want me when I'm broke. Doesn't mean I should want you now that, you had your kids with the bad boys. You feel me? So I think that's the issue guys have with. But what you guys think? For the new guys coming to the chat, coming to the live, the question stands. We know black women are not going to change their attitude. That is the truth. So for some of you guys, I know you when I, you know, uh, post my videos, reaction videos, you guys are talking about, oh, it's gonna change and this and like. No, black women's attitude is not going to change. If you meet a woman who's 20 years old plus, so all the way from 20 all the way to 60, if she has bad attitude, that's who she is. Now, she may change maybe at 45, 50. If she's lucky, some of them get to change it like, oh, let me better be a better person, whatever. But if you find a woman who's 20 years old plus with a bad attitude, chances are she's always going to have it. So you as a man, if you're going to get into a relationship, and they show it from the first date. You know, if you want to know if a woman has a bad attitude, when you guys on a date, go on a date, because we women are usually late. When you go on a date and she's late, if you want to know if a woman has a bad attitude, try to tell her, let's say you're on time, right? Let's say you get to the venue, to the restaurant, wherever you guys are going to date. You get there on time before her. You get there before her, and she's late. Try to tell the woman, hey, I could have sworn we said 7 p.m. I could have sworn we agreed to meet 7 p.m. Her reaction, and then she's like, oh, if a woman has bad attitude, she's either like, oh, she won't apologize if a woman has bad attitude or bad character. And I think that's where most guys go wrong, because we know most guys struggle to get dates. So when you get a date, if an issue is half an hour late, most guys are like, oh, I don't want to say anything because I don't want her to change her mind and leave me. No, say something. I think that's why most guys miss the opportunity to see that she have good character, because a woman of good character, once she's late, she's going to, even before she gets to the venue, she's going to send you a text or even call you apologizing. But if she calls you, oh my God, I'm running late, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and doesn't even say, I'm sorry. If she doesn't start the conversation with, I'm sorry, I'm running late, that's a bad character woman. You better leave, bro. It's for you, for your own good. Or if she gets there late to a date and you're like, oh my God, I don't like to wait on people. I thought we'll get 7 p.m. Not in a bad way, but like more in a stern way. Hey, I was waiting. I wish you would have let me know you're going to run late. The way she responds, because most of them think they're doing you a favor by coming to a date so you can pay for the dinner, for the food and eat so they can go back to somebody else. So most women you go on dates with, it's like they're doing you a favor. You feel me? So already she has a mindset she's doing us a favor. So if she comes late, try to hold her accountable. So that's the best opportunity, the best chance most guys miss. If she's coming late, try to hold her accountable. If she tries to say anything apart from, I'm really sorry, there was traffic, there was, I'm this, and if she doesn't say, I'm sorry, for your own sake, please, please and please, that should be the first and last date you see that woman. Because anything from that, you've set the tone. That means she's going to keep doing a bunch of BS, and she expects you to deal with it, because she's going to be remembering, even the first guy I met him, I was late and he didn't say anything. Even the first date I met him, I was late, he didn't check me. Even the first date I met him, I was late, I didn't apologize, and he was okay with it. You feel me? So that's the chance most guys miss, because most guys be like, oh, I don't want to say anything because she's going to leave me. She's going to cancel the date. She's going to go off. No, that's your chance to test that. Is this woman I'm trying to meet? It's your chance to even know, should I spend the money? Because best believe, just because she's late doesn't mean she's going to offer to pay for the date. She still expects you to buy her food, eat the food, and just accept her for being late. So that's why. That's one thing most guys should do, because most guys, once you don't check her, the whole relationship is just going to go like that. She's going to disrespect you. She's always going to be late. Why? Because Jonathan let her be late the first time and he didn't check her. So it's going to be the same thing. So that's how most guys do with a bad attitude. They find themselves in those situations because I don't know if they don't know better or maybe they're scared. Because trust me, guys, it's tough to find a date, especially if the guy has been swiping left and right. Most guys swipe right. So the guy has been swiping like 300 times on a dating app, right? So finally, Jessica gives him a chance. Jessica is gonna be an hour late. Jonathan is gonna be okay with it because he's like, I'm tired of swiping so many times and women not showing up on dates. So if Jessica shows up late, an hour late, most guys are just gonna be okay with Jessica. Most guys are not even going to check Jessica, and that's the time you should check Jessica. All right, Emmanuel. What does Emmanuel say? Emmanuel says, all this can be avoided. A man should be clear with what he expects from his woman. If not, let her go. You don't need problems. Emmanuel, I agree, but here's the issue. Most guys don't learn that until later in life, until after a few mistakes, until maybe even listening to the conversation. You know, if as a man, no one has ever told you you should be able to tell a woman to apologize if she comes late on a date, because most of us have been taught to worship women. We have been taught to treat women like queens and princesses, never hold accountable, buy her flowers. We have grown up listening to all these things. Buy her flowers, take her to a nice date, or do all these things for her, pick her up, beg. Some guys literally beg for date. Like, we have been taught in this mindset of just beg, do everything for her. She should worship the ground she walks on. We have been literally, how do you want to call it? It's like they have pumped us with this from the time we are kids, whether it's movies, friends, like we have been taught this same concept, right? So that's why some guys struggle, because they don't know. Some guys literally are scared to ask a woman to apologize if she does something wrong. I kid you not. Men will rather fight. There are two choices. Some guys, if you give them a choice, hey, listen, you have a choice. Either tell that woman to apologize to you or go fight a bear. Most guys will choose to fight a bear. That's how much most guys are scared of women. You know, most guys would rather fight a bear rather than ask a woman to apologize for doing something wrong to him. That's how crazy it is. So, Emmanuel, I agree, but it's not as easy as you think, man. Guys are scared of women. So that's why it's good to have conversations like this as men, just to share our different life experiences. You know, because at the end of the day, if you as a man, you deal with a woman with bad attitude, the environment you're going to be in, let's say you have kids with this woman, what type of kids are you going to raise? Because the kids are going to see you arguing as well. Mom and dad are arguing. And that's if you even stay together after the kids. You know, because usually once the kids come into the picture, even the little bit of attention she's showing you, she's going to give it to the kids. Obviously, we know some women even use the kids to create sexless relationships, right? So what does Emmanuel say? Emmanuel is saying, then reteach men about the truth, about women. It starts from the home. I agree. Like, Emmanuel, you're right on the money. Everything you're saying, you're right. But here's the problem. How are we going to reteach men if there are no fathers in the house? How are we going to do that? Because you have to remember, there's a whole generation of men who have grown up without fathers, without anyone to teach them these things. There's a whole generation of men who have grown up watching Disney love fantasy fairy tales on television. And then there's a whole generation of women who have now grown up without fathers also. So, which means they didn't grow up respecting a man. Maybe they didn't grow up knowing how a man loves his woman. They didn't grow up seeing the father love on his wife, on the mother. They grew up without seeing their mom respect a man. They grew up seeing the mom switch men in the house. So that's what they believe they should also do. They grew up with a single mom, so they believe they can also do it by themselves as single moms. So that's the environment they also grew up. And these are the women you're going to be dating, right? So it's a generational issue. It's not an issue of just teaching men, reteaching men about this and that. It's like a whole generation thing. And then we haven't even talked about social media. We haven't talked about how women teach how give themselves this crazy advice on social media on TikToks. Have you guys, if you want to know how toxic TikTok is when it comes to women, women teach each other how to divorce men. Women are literally teaching each other to avoid good men. I swear to God. I have some videos that I'm gonna be dropping for you guys. There's a video of a woman who's saying she's divorcing her husband. He's a good man, but she's divorcing him because she needs to find herself. They have 3 kids. She said there's nothing wrong with the guy. He's a good guy, but she's divorcing him because she's trying to find herself. She put this on TikTok, which means she watched something on TikTok that told her that it's okay. So the reason they learned this from TikTok, because on TikTok they tell themselves it's okay to leave good men, because they have a group of other women, they call it like the sisterhood, where they let themselves pretty much be okay with doing this. Can you imagine how much a man would be attacked? Imagine men started making videos saying, I divorced my woman, she was a good woman, but I need to find myself. Can you imagine how much a man would be attacked for saying such a thing, for making such a video? Let alone just saying it, but making a video and saying, I'm divorcing my wife. She's a good woman, but I'm divorcing her because I need to find myself. Can you imagine a man making that video and how much people would go crazy? This is what I'm saying. Like, TikTok is crazy. Like if you have a girl and she's always on TikTok, I'm telling you right now, bro, your relationship is a ticking time bomb. I'm gonna say this one more time. If your woman, right, is on TikTok and you're in a relationship, your relationship is a ticking time bomb, because she's being fed things about relationships from other single women. So you have to watch out. I'm telling you, like TikTok, I don't even know. All right, Emma says, good point. You have to start with few homes that are functional. Get together and start up seminars, community gathering, the family order, and have to be restored for the future generation. That is true, but here's the thing, man. That takes lots of money. Obviously, it's not. Yeah, it takes lots of money. People, especially boys, men are not going to pay for such things. Men would rather pay for OnlyFans rather than paying for a seminar to learn something. So you got to think about that too as well, you know. But when it comes to dealing with women with bad attitude, as a man, you just have as men, I think, because we're ruled too much by the love of sex, and obviously because we live in such a sexualized time of our lives, social media, Instagram, and things like that. Like we have easy access to sex. Like, remember when we were growing up, at least when I was growing up, the most you would find like sex to be like in a few movie scenes, and if not, it would have to be on a magazine. But if parents found you in a magazine, you'd be in trouble. So, but these days, like it's everywhere. So men are we are literally controlled by our love for sex. John, what's up, John? I see you in the chat. What is John saying? John is going off. John is saying, I ain't accepting shit, because that bad attitude some black women have sounds like a me problem that they're gonna figure out by the they're gonna figure out by them dumb self. I agree, John. I guess that's one of the standards as men we need to have. We need to stand on business. You feel me? We need to, as a man, you gotta stand on your square and say, listen, I ain't dealing with this. And this is what we were talking about. Emmanuel, actually, I think, I don't know if it was Emmanuel or somebody in the chat or Steven said, as men, you have to make a choice. Do you want to be single for the rest of your life, or do you want to deal with their attitude? Because even if, like I said, even if you are lucky enough, right, you find a nice woman, she's good looking, you're really attracted to her, she respects men, she doesn't, disrespect you. When you tell her to cook, she doesn't think it's slavery. She's not asking you to spend loads of money and things like that. And then you have to ask yourself, what kind of friends does she have? Yeah, she's a good woman, but what kind of friends does she have? Because remember, when you get into a relationship with her, women run to each other. Yeah, sure, she's a good woman. She doesn't have attitude. What type of friends does she have? Because something's gonna go wrong in the relationship. You guys are gonna have a fight. It's just a matter of time. So when you guys have an issue in the relationship, she's gonna run to her friends. Are the friends going to influence her in any way? Because if the friends are single, they probably are jealous that your woman found a man. So yeah, she's nice to you, but if the friends are seeing that you're doing things for her, eventually they're going to be jealous and they're going to try to sabotage the relationship. And that happens all the time. So that's why I'm saying there's an option. The option would be you don't care. So you deal with them. She gives you a bad attitude. You just switch them out, But we know that's very expensive because every new woman you meet, she wants you to spend money on her in some form of way. So dates, she's going to cry for you. Oh, I need this, my hair, something. She's going to want something. And from the beginning, from the date, you're going to have to spend, literally as men, you literally have to have a budget. You see how men, we make budgets for different things that we want, whether you make a budget to repair your car, you make a budget to, I don't know, you want to go on a trip, you make a budget to buy some clothes and shoes. As a man out here dating, you literally have to make a budget for dating women. Because you're going to think that every woman that you meet, let's say I'm not even talking about the relationship, because the relationship to me is almost like a Netflix subscription, just more expensive. Because we're not counting dates. You 80%, even if not 100% of the chance, if you go on a date with a woman, you're going to be the one paying. Everything that you do, you're going to be the one paying. And it's even worse if you're moving together, because now you're paying rent for two, food for two constantly. If you're just meeting every now and once and again, she has her own place, you have your own place, you can, it won't be like every single day. But if you live together with a woman, you are literally on a lifetime subscription and you have to be okay with it. It's a payment plan. You're in a payment plan as a man. So I think as men, you have to think about it like that, hey, listen, if I'm dating women, I'm going to be paying a monthly or weekly or daily subscription. Either you're going to be paying money, like I said, in terms of dates. There's emotional subscription. She's going to be coming crying to you with her issues, with her problems. And those are things most men don't think about. Most men think because they are not directly buying some punani, they think, and then they talk trash on the guys who are paying for punani directly. But it's like, you are also paying for it. It's not direct, right? But if you're taking your woman on dates, you're buying her gifts, you're listening to her, that's emotional payments, because you have to be there to listen. If you don't listen, she's going to complain. Oh, you don't care about me. Oh my God, why don't you care about me? Why don't you care about my problems? She just wants you to listen. That's a form of payment, right? She wants you to rub her feet as a form of payment. She wants you to clap cheeks all night. You just want to give a one and done. That's payment. And if you don't, clap cheeks very well, she's going to come and try to find Boogie who can go 10 rounds. That's a form of payment. That's emotional. Now you're going to be thinking, oh my God, if I don't clap my woman's cheeks very well, she's going to look for Boogie. You feel me? So that's all payment as a man. If you're going to be dating, you have to think about that. But I think the biggest, beyond money for me, the biggest payment when dealing with women as a man is the emotional toll, the mental toll it takes on you. You feel me? Because remember, as men, we have been taught to cater to women. That's why you hear women talk about a real man does this, a real man does that, but they never talk about what a real woman does for a man, because they're the prize, they're the queens. Oh, we are queens. Oh my God, bring me flowers. Oh my God, do this for me. Oh my God, you gotta pay me. You gotta pay for me. Oh my God, you do, like, call me, text me. They never talk about, oh, I want to call my man, or I want to text my man good morning and good night. No, no, no. So the mental toll it takes on you of your always giving, 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 giving. At some point, you have to think about how long are you going to be able to do this? Because we know, I believe, this is my opinion, I believe in a relationship between a man and a woman, when it comes to the mental, to the emotional, to the monetary, that's the money. Most men invest almost like at and 80-20%. So the man invests 80% mostly in the relationship more than the woman. So as a man, if you're not ready for that, maybe it's time for you to be single. Either you can be single or you can go the direct way. That's what I believe. But what do you guys think? John, what do you think about that? Am I cooking or what? Guys, like the video. I forgot to tell you guys, like my video so other guys can come into the chat. It's Sunday, nice vibes, good afternoon. Just having a nice conversation. Should men just finally give in and deal with a bad attitude? Because I think it comes with it. So the whole, oh, let's wait for a different generation. No, this is the generation of women you have. Most of them are going to have bad attitude. And if not, the friends they have are going to have bad attitude. And the friends are going to teach your woman how to have bad attitude as well. So are you just going to deal with that, or what's going on? Or are you just going to be single? Because the women are not changing. And that's what I was saying. I don't know. I was talking about something like that. Then I forgot. Yeah, I was saying, if you meet a woman who's 20 years plus and she has bad attitude, she's going to have it all the way. Chances are she won't change. Right? So even if you say, oh my God, I'm just going to try to look for the right one, chances are you're never going to find the right one. Especially because as men, we know, sure, we want a good looking woman, but most importantly, we want a woman who's going to give us peace. Like, you know that feeling when you're going to see your woman and you're not scared that she's going to start an argument. You're not scared that she's going to be nagging. Man, that's like one of the best feelings. Like knowing that you're going to spend money on a woman. I don't know if you guys know this, but as men, I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, a man is more willing to spend money on a woman that treats him nicely. Like when a woman is mean to you, even when you're paying the money, you're paying for something, you're thinking about the money. No, when a woman is not nice to you, once you're paying something, you're like, oh my God, I'm paying $100 for this woman and she's a bitch. She's very bitchy. She's arguing with me. Why am I doing this? You just want, you're stuck in love or in love. So you're forced to just keep paying. But a woman treats you nice and you're excited to hang out with her. You never even think about the money. And that's where most guys spend the most money. Like, have you met these guys and he's doing the most? Like, you have a friend, he just bought maybe he just bought a new phone for the woman. You're like, bro, how much was that phone? He's like, it was $1,000. You're like, bro, you're buying a woman $1,000 phone? He's like, yeah, it's not a big deal. To you, it's a big deal because you don't like the woman. She does nothing for you. But for that guy in that moment, he doesn't think about how much the phone costs. He's thinking about the fact that he's in love with this woman and she treats him good. It doesn't mean she's always going to treat him good. But in the moment, the point I'm trying to drive at is when a woman is good to a man, we never think about how much money we are spending on her. Right? That's why, for me, I believe most men wouldn't have an issue with taking a woman on a nice first dinner date if they knew ahead of time that the woman actually likes them. The only reason men don't want to do expensive first dates is because we don't know if she likes you. And if you guys want to be honest in the comments, think about all the first dates you've been to. How many women ghosted you? How many women did you text again and they didn't respond? Right? Let's say you approach 10 women, and let's for some reason pretend all the 10 women said yes to go out with you. 8 of them, they're not going to respond. That is just a fact. 8 of those women are not responding after the first date. Whether they liked you, whether they feel like you're not good, whatever the reason, 10 out of the 8 women you're taking on the first date are not going to respond. So now we're left with 2. One of them is going to accept a second date, maybe because you took her out to a nice first date, and the second date, she had nothing to do. So she's going to say yes, but she's just there for the sake of it. And then after the second date, maybe the third date, she won't respond. Right. And then the third one, she's back with you. She's going to continue going out with you. But the only reason she's going out with you is because the boyfriend, the current boyfriend, they're on a break. So she needs you to fill that space. So that's why you may like, oh my gosh, she really likes me. She may just be love bombing you because she's trying to make you feel a space that the ex-boyfriend or the current boyfriend has left because they're on a break. So those are all 10 women you went on the first dates with. Average, you're spending anywhere from $50 to $100. So on the low end, you're spending $50 on a first date. 10 first dates, that's $500. And none of them go anywhere. So that's the main reason men don't want to spend too much money on the first date, because you don't know if she likes you. You don't know if it's going to go anywhere. And we know women like to say, oh, if you're broke, just say that. But it's like, if you tell them to switch their roles, now you pay for the first date. And remember, there's no guarantee I'm going to call you back. There's no guarantee I'm going to want to see you again. Oh, now they're like, oh, no, man, it's a man's job to pay. It's like, oh, so now it's a man's job to pay. When we switch the roles, now you don't want to be the one to pay for the first date. That's the only reason men don't want to do expensive first dates, because there's no guarantee you're going to see this woman again. And sometimes, right, you're going to go on a date with a woman, and after your first date, she's going to go on a date with a different man at 8 p.m. She's going to go with you at 5 p.m. And at 8 p.m., there's a guy who's going to take her to a rooftop dinner. So you, as you took her to your coffee dates and doing some walk in the park. Boogie is going to take her to a rooftop at 8 p.m. And Boogie probably will be the one to clap cheeks. Or if not, there's even a worse situation. You're going to take a woman out to eat, and then after eating, guess what she's going to call? She's going to call Boogie to clap cheeks later that night. And that's another reason men don't want to men are tired of taking women on first expensive dinner dates. We're going to be honest. All right, what's Emmanuel saying? Emmanuel is saying the point of emotional availability is critical for both parties. Right? He's saying, I think if a man is in his masculinity on his journey, the woman will always have a man on her brain because of that. Emmanuel, that's not true, man. Emmanuel, I think if a man is in his masculinity on his journey, the woman will always have her man on her brain because of that. That's not completely true, Emmanuel, unfortunately. And the reason it's not completely true because how good looking is the woman, right? This is what I was saying, Emmanuel, right? Think about it like this. Emmanuel, the woman you want to meet, let's say she's a gorgeous, let's say she's an 8 out of 10, right? So you're gonna meet this woman, 8 out of 10 is pretty attractive. So that means guys want her. So that means she has met or is even meeting and currently being pursued by multiple men right now as we speak. The women that you guys want right now, if they're anything above a 6 out of 10, right now they're being approached by me, by him, by you, by all men, right? So many guys are approaching them because if you see a woman as attractive, best believe 10 other guys see her as attractive. All right, so we have that down. So now that we know different guys see her as attractive, right? There's some guys who are tall, some guys who are short, some guys who have muscles, some guys who don't, some guys who are funny, some guys are not, some guys have money, some guys don't. So there are different type of guys that she's approaching, different type of guys taking her on dates, spending money on her, maybe not spending money on her. Some guys taking on trips, maybe not trips, but some guys spending some good money that you believe. For example, some guy, let's say I have money like that, I could take a woman on a $1,000 dinner date, and it's nothing to me, right? You may look at it like I'm a trick or whatever, but if I'm earning $500,000 a year, spending $1,000 on a dinner date, that's not such a big deal to me. You feel me? So now she's meeting all these different guys, doing all these things for her, right? Some guys are tall, some guys have good sex, maybe their dick is bigger than yours, all these different men, right? You can never tell, different personalities, characteristics, whatever. What is you, Emmanuel, gonna do anything different to make her think, oh my God, I've met the man of my dreams, he's always gonna be on top of my mind? Emmanuel, answer that question. What do you think that you are going to do so different from all these other guys that she's just going to have you on her mind 24/7? You feel me? So this is why I'm saying that thinking that you're going to find a woman to just worship the ground you walk on and always thinking about you. She already met a guy like you and she left him for whatever reason. Maybe he didn't text her back. Maybe he didn't text her good morning and she didn't even care to text him. Maybe he was calling her every day and he skipped one day without calling her and she left him. I mean, you would think she should call him as well, but like I said, we live in a time where they want men to do everything, right? She feels if she calls a man once in a while, she's chasing a man. They claim, oh, I don't chase men, but it's like, if you like me, you can call me to check on me to see how my day was going. Why should I be the one to always call? And like, you feel me? And that's all men ask for. But hey, according to women, they believe that if they show affection to a man, that's called chasing, and they're the prize. It's a man's job to chase. So it goes back to what I was saying. So you as Emma, if we know and we have broken down the fact that the woman that you're going to meet tomorrow, in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, in 3 months, has probably met all these different type of guys: rich, tall, big, small, good dick, bad dick, adventurous, funny, whatever, right? She has met all these kind of guys. What do you think you are going to do different that she has never seen, right? That is going to make her believe, oh my God, Emmanuel is the best man in the world. I'm going to think about him all day. Like, what do you think is that? So Emmanuel has an answer. Let me see. He's saying the question is, can a married successful man tame a quality woman and be content in the relationship? I don't know if that's a question, but the answer to your question is no. A man cannot tame a woman. The woman has to literally tame herself. Like, if a woman is loyal to you, she's not loyal to you because you got so much money. She's not loyal to you because you're such a nice guy and you deserve it. There's so many reasons she could be loyal to you. She could be loyal to you because she's tired of being in the streets. She could be loyal to you because you're the best she can do for now. Just because you're a good guy today doesn't mean she won't meet Boogie tomorrow, and Boogie may be nice to her as well, even better than you. You feel me? So no man can tame a woman. She's nice to you, or whatever she's doing it because she wants to, not because you deserve it. Oh, no. She's doing it because in that moment she wants to do it. So I don't believe you can tame a woman. AH2, what are you saying? AH2 says, looking for money and hoping for love is a fool's errand. I don't think looking for money is a fool's errand. I mean, we gotta get the money. We gotta get to the money. Now, looking for love, I agree with you. That's a fool's errand. Oh my God. Multi-gaming community says, I want to be the one clap chicks. Well, if you want to be the one to clap chicks, you can't be a nice guy. That's for sure. You can't be the nice guy. Because just know, as you're taking her for a $500 dinner date, she's gonna come back to Boogie for. She's gonna call me after you go feed her on your expensive dinner restaurant date because you're trying to be a nice guy. She's gonna call Boogie then later that night for Boogie to come clap chicks when she's full. When you after you feed her nice steak and the whiskeys and the nice wine, she's gonna call Boogie. I will be the one to clap chicks. Yo, dating out here is tough, man. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Women have it tough, I guess, but I don't think women have it tougher than men. Because remember, as men, we have to approach. First of all, before you even approach, you have to have the confidence to approach. Let me not even skip the steps. You have to have the confidence to approach, right? You have to have the money to spend. Let's say she says it. Let's say you're lucky and because it's luck. It's all luck sometimes, right? Because some guys think, oh, every time. Some guys like to pretend that every time you approach a woman, she's gonna say yes, and that's not true, right? So you have to approach. You have to have the confidence to approach. You have to, and then you approach. And then if you're lucky, she's going to say yes. If you're unlucky, she's going to say no, even if she finds you attractive. And that's the thing with women. She may say no, even if she finds you attractive. She may say no for the ego because she's going to go to her friends. Oh my God, there's this tall, nice, handsome dude. He came all talking to me. I said no. And then the girls will be like, oh my God, why did you say no? Like, because I'm the shit. Like, who does he think he is that he can just get my number? Literally, they ignore a man. They reject men for the ego, just for the ego, just for the sake of it. Right? So if you're lucky and she says yes, then you have to have the money. So now that's the confidence, that's the approach, that's the lack of her saying yes, and then you have to have the money to spend on a first date. And now let's go back a little bit. If you're unlucky, she will say no. I have a boyfriend, right? If you are very, very unlucky, she will pull out her phone and put you on TikTok while rejecting you so she can go viral and so you can go viral. Oh my God, why are these men approaching me? You guys have seen those videos on TikTok. Men should stop approaching us. So she'll pull out her phone because you approached her. Oh my God, he's a creep. Oh my God, he's stalking me. Oh my God, men, leave us alone. So she'll put her phone and start recording you if you're very unlucky. Now, if you're very, 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 very unlucky, she's gonna scream, oh my God, leave me alone. So let's say in the grocery store, she will scream, oh my God, leave me alone. So everyone now has their eyes on you. And you know what these days people do? Anytime they hear someone scream, they just call the police. So now you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. And we are assuming you made a good approach. Hey, excuse me. Hey, how you doing? How's your day going? I just thought you're a beautiful girl. I would like to get to know you. Maybe take you out sometime. The usual line, right? So you see the hurdles men have to skip through, right? And remember, as a man, if you are still the type that still, doesn't want to do like dating apps and things like that, you want to meet women in person, you might want to meet women out there, you literally have to do this maybe 100 times. Because we know 90% it's going to be no's. They're going to say no, they're going to reject you. If you're lucky, remember, there are two types of not being lucky. If you're not lucky, she will just say no. If you're very, very unlucky, then it will escalate either to social media or screaming and things like that. So now let's jump back. Now you got the money. Now you have to take on a date. Now you have to make good conversation. Most women actually don't have good conversation, right? There's even a step I skipped. That's if she comes on a date on time. You feel me? She has to be on time. If she's not on time, now you're there on time, she may not even apologize. Most of them think they're doing a favor. Remember, the reason women don't respect men, because first of all, you approached her. So she thinks she's hot shit because you approached her. I mean, you saw her look good, so you approached me. So she thinks she's doing a favor. So that's the number one reason women don't respect men anymore because she thinks she's doing you a favor. And she knows most guys, we think mostly with our small head. We are all about sex, 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 sex. Because she knows she's already going to put you in control. But the fact that you approached her, she knows she has you by the balls. Right? So let's say she doesn't come late. You're lucky she doesn't come late. You have to create conversation on the first date. Right? You have to be charming. Not everyone is born, having charm, right? Being a nice, charismatic guy. And then you have to hope that she actually likes you. She didn't go out with you just for the meal of it. And that's something you can't guarantee. No man can guarantee that the woman who's going on a date with him doesn't want to use him for free food. You can't guarantee that. You can just show up and hope for the best. You feel me? So see all those hurdles. I'm not even going to keep going about if she will want to see you again, if she's a good woman, she comes from a two-parent household, she respects men and she's not seeing other men. Because like I already said that if you meet a woman, you have to assume if she's average all the way to beautiful, gorgeous, you just have to assume she has different men. If you see a woman and you think she's good looking, there are 10 boogies who think she's good looking also. You're not the only one. So look at all these hurdles that a man has to jump through and overcome in today's world just for the sake of love, marriage, and hoping that she's gonna find a nice woman, his queen, and live happily ever after. Like, think about all this. Right? Like, these are the things men literally have to overcome. So for me, I totally understand why some guys have given up. Because remember, you don't approach no man. Like, I could literally, it's very rare, unless they met in high school, no man is married to the first woman he approached. Those days are gone. The days of meeting a woman in high school, you guys fall in love and that's it, and you stay together and you get married later and you stay together forever. That doesn't happen anymore these days. So that's what I'm saying. The process are just broken down of how the things men have to go through to approach women and hope they like them and the relationship, and she's a good woman and he's not being used for free dinner dates. That is something men have to do 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, sometimes 200 times. Now, with dating apps, it's easy. You can just swipe. That just because you swipe right, how many women swipe right back on you? Very few. You feel me? So it's like, are you down to do that as a man? Are you willing to go through that cycle? How many times are you willing to do that? Because it takes money, it takes time, but most importantly, the mental investment into that, the emotional load it takes just to go through that process for the sake of love. So I definitely understand why some guys have given up on love and relationships and things like that. It's a lot. But women don't understand it. They just keep saying, oh, men are born hunters. Oh, men are natural hunters. Men these days are weak. They don't want to approach. And it's like, once you break it down for them, you're like, so you expect me to do all these things? And chances are you're just going to say no. Like 10 different women are just going to say no just for the sake of it. Even when they find me attractive, even when they find me physically attractive, like a woman will literally look at you. You can tell that she's attracted to you with the way she's looking at you. And as soon as you make approach, she may even smile from a distance away to show you that she likes you, because sometimes that's how women show you that they like you. She will smile at you. And then as soon as you approach, she says, I have a boyfriend, even if she has been single for 1,000 years. I mean, that's the craziest shit, man. So unless you're down for the ride, man, like, But some guys don't think about these things. Some guys don't think about the toll it takes on you. The reason most guys get frustrated when it comes to women, honestly, is because they have never taken time to really break down the toll it takes on you, the money. I was thinking about this not too long ago. Some of you guys need to literally sit down. Let's for the guys who are single, for you guys who are in relationships, I don't want to mess up your relationship, so I'm not really going to talk about it too much. But for the guys out here dating, active in the single, and you get dates, because dating, I don't count dating you approaching women and they reject you. I'm counting dating that you can actually get women to go with you on the first date. So I need for the guys out dating, I need you to spend 3 months and write down try to track how much money you spend on the first dates and how many women you've taken on first dates are still active in your life. Try to calculate and total down how much money you've been spending on dates on women. You'll see and tell me if it's worth it. And tell me if you could have invested that money somewhere else. Right? It's tough out here. What do you guys think? Guys in the comments, what do you think about that? Am I cooking or am I delusional? Am I right? Am I wrong? Kenneth. Kenneth is saying nice guys do it. Nice guys get laid too. Yeah, nice guys get laid too. After the woman is done, messing with the bad boys. If Kenneth, if that's what you want, then sure, nice guys get laid too, as I guess. But best believe, before a woman lays down with you as a nice guy, she's gonna give the chicks to a bad boy before she lays down with you. Like there's no woman who finds a nice guy first and she's like, oh my God, I found my Prince Charming. When there's this other guy, who doesn't, who doesn't care about her, who doesn't give her any attention, and he's the bad boy. It's almost impossible. Now, when she's 45, then maybe, just maybe, she may, be down and let you give you a chance as a nice guy. There's a reason they say nice guys finish last for a reason. Yeah, they finish. No one is disputing that. The nice guys finish. That's for sure. But there's a very key point. They finish last. I'm going to ask you guys a question right now. There's a beautiful woman. Kenneth, there's a beautiful woman. You know the woman? I know her. Right? Let's say you approach that woman and she rejects you. And then you find out Boogie approached the same woman and she let him clap cheeks. Right? And then 3 months later, she comes to you. She's a drop dead gorgeous. But she rejected you, but she gave Boogie the cheeks and Boogie clapped the cheeks. And then 3 months later, she breaks up with Boogie and she comes to you. Are you still going to be liking her the way you liked her the first time when you approached her and you didn't know Boogie clapped cheeks? Let's be honest, Kenneth. Let's be honest right now. Be honest in the comments. I'm waiting, Kenneth. I'm talking about drop dead gorgeous. Like the booty's on point, nice and stuff, like everything that you think a nice woman looks like. You approached her. She said no. She said she will think about it. Then you find out she let Boogie clap cheeks. And now she wants you 3 months later. Are you going to want her the same way? Because I believe the nice guys, where's Kenneth? Kenneth, don't run away. Come answer the question. Kenneth, I want to hear your answer. Since you said nice guys get laid too. So is it really being just about sure you got laid? Or do you want to feel like the priority? Because let's be honest, we're humans. We all want to feel wanted. So it's not just about getting laid. Anybody can get laid. But the context of getting laid matters. Like, do you want to feel loved? Do you want to feel like they prioritized you? You want to feel like they wanted you? Yeah, see? Nigel is saying, nice guys get the leftover box. It may still be a good box. Like, don't get me wrong. Nigel says, after Pookie and Rary finish demolishing the box, Kenneth Kenneth comes through the cleanup man and wife her. I need Kenneth to respond to my question. Because I know as men, we are really, 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 you know, we really care about a woman's looks, you know, but even nice guys would rather feel that the woman really, that's why you see on social media, women don't like when men call out the nice guys. Women don't like when men call other men simps. You know why? Because women don't want men to wake up the so-called simps. Women want to keep a majority of men to be simps because they know eventually they have to go back to the simps 10 years later. They want to be able to go back to the simps. They don't want the simps right now. Right now, they want to deal with the bad boys, do whatever they want to do. Now, in 10 years, if every man stops being a simp, then you're messing up their game. That's why women don't like when men call other men simps, because they actually say we love simps. And I agree. They know simps are useful to them because it benefits them. Like, for example, me as Boogie, if I had so many women who want me and, they do everything for me, booty calls whenever I want, they buy me shoes, they do all these things for me, but they get nothing in return. They don't get my attention in return. But I know they will still be able to do it 10 years later, even if they find out I have 10 baby mamas and 10 kids. And then other women are telling them, hey, stop caring for Boogie. He's such a bad boy. Why are you giving him your attention? He doesn't want you back. Stop doing those things for him if he's doing nothing for you. I'm going to be like, bitch, shut up. Like, stop, stop messing up my game. Like, leave them the way they are, because I want them to be available in 10 years when I'm done being a deadbeat dad. I want those same women to be nice to me. And that's the game. That's why women love nice guys for a reason. That's why they keep them in the friend zone. Kenneth ran away. Kenneth didn't want to answer my question. What is Eddie saying? Eddie, are you answering for Kenneth? Oh no, this is a Goku. Eddie Murphy, take me, I'm yours beat. Eddie Murphy did a bit about this 30 years ago. Yeah, Eddie Murphy did. He even talked about Passport Bros. Dadeg, what are you saying? I'll not trade my loyalty and love for a woman's degenerate behavior and hypergamous nature. My peace outweighs their chaos. I agree, Dadeg. Once a man realizes that peace is paramount, peace is everything, they probably would never want anything again, man. Because as men, if you're not peaceful, you can't like do anything, right? Which maybe even for women as well. But the issue is, the thing is, for women, for example, as a man, let's say you have your car, right? And then your car breaks down. In that moment, as a man, you don't have peace. Because men, we like to solve issues. At least for me personally, like if there's an issue, I want to solve for it. I want to see, okay, how can I do this? How can I make sure this is put in place? How can I want to make sure I don't have anything on top of mind that is trying to disturb my peace. But I think what makes it different for women is that women know there's someone can save them, but as men, we know we have to save ourselves. Like I'm not, I don't expect Beyonce to knock on my door to come and do me a favor and fix my car. I literally have to get the money and go pay for my car repairs. So I think that's the difference. As men, that's why men we value peace, because we want to be tunnel visioned. If there's something disturbing our peace, now we have to change our focus from everything from the main goal to focus on whatever is disturbing our peace, and then we can move forward. That's why there is no kingdom that ever grew big if itself didn't have peace. If everything wasn't fine at home, there's no way the kingdom could keep conquering if the king was fighting with his subordinates and other people trying to take the throne. They had to settle whatever is going on in the kingdom so they can now focus on the outside. It's very hard to focus if you have all these things messing up your peace. So now imagine, as a man, you're going home, every day, but you are worried that the moment you open the car door, no, the house door, the woman is going to start every single day. And it goes back to what I've already said. That's why some men stay in the car. Once they get home, they stay in the car for a couple hours. That's why some men go home too late, because they want to go home, find the woman sleeping to avoid the arguments, because men love their peace. Because as a man, if you're going to be arguing with your woman, instead of thinking about what ideas for the business, because let's say as a man, you get home at 7 p.m., but your woman loves to argue. She likes to nag you. She likes to start all these different random fights with you. So now, rather than getting home and you're thinking about your business and business ideas, because home should be a place of peace where you can, hydrate, lay back, chill, relax, and get new ideas, develop new ideas. It should be a place of inspiration. But if you're going home and you're expecting to fight a woman, you're going to be fighting your woman. Rather than coming home to make love, you're coming back because you have no other place to go and you're going to be fighting. Your business is going to take a hit, So that's why men love to focus on the peace these days, man. Peace is paramount for a man. I don't believe a man who's not peaceful can conquer the world. What do you guys think about that? Am I cooking, though? You guys are not even telling me in the comments. Am I cooking? All right, Nigel is saying, bro, can you do a video on the pregnant woman who came up on the Pop the Balloon show? Which Pop the Balloon? For, what's that lady? Arlette Amudi's Pop the Balloon. She doesn't want people to do a Pop the Balloon because for some reason she doesn't want us to. She's a hater. She doesn't want us to react to her Pop the Balloon. But it is what it is. EG says not Arlette. Oh no, Nigel says not Arlette. It was a different one. It was a different one, not Arlette. Hold on. Which one? A different one, not Arlette. Wait. Balloon. But here's what I'm gonna do. Right? Give me one second. Here's what I'm gonna do. So for those of you who have videos that you want me to react to, here's my link to my Instagram. You can follow me there. Send me all the links that you want me, or videos you want me to react to. Right there. I just put my link in the chat. I'm gonna pin it. That's my Instagram. That's my Instagram. You can send me videos on my Instagram. Just send me the link. Like if you're on Instagram, you see a video you want me to react to, you just send it to my Instagram if you follow me on my Instagram, so that I can know. Because once I have the link, it's very easy for me, rather than trying to type in like on YouTube, like, oh, I need to react to this video, and then I have to search for it. It's kind of tough. Type in pregnant lady and Pop the Balloon. Okay, Nigel, I'll look for it. But if you can find it, there is my Instagram. You can just check it, like send it straight. That would be very, very helpful. Maybe I should pin this. Wait, I forget how to pin this. No, I can't pin it. But was I cooking? So are people just gonna give up? Are we not? Are we not gonna deal with a bad attitude? Right? Oh, somebody said I'm cooking. Thank you, man. Thank you, Emmanuel, man. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, because as men, I think we're gonna talk about experiences, man. Um, as men, we go through so much shit, especially with relationships. And some people call it complaining. Some people call it this and that, especially women. They're like, oh, if you don't like women, just be gay, or you're sassy. Every time men talk about the issues they face in relationships, women don't like it. Women say just become gay. If you like men, just say that. They call you sassy. So they use all these shaming things to attack men who speak about their issues in relationships. But I think it's key because once you find out as a man that things you're going through, other men are going through, then you can maybe find a solution so you don't have to complain. Because you are gonna ask your bros that, hey, listen, I'm going through this. Were you guys going through this? When you went through it, how did you resolve it? That's why men suffer in relationships and no one talks about it. But women, that's why once I was saying that once you have a girlfriend, they always run to their friends once they have an issue in the relationship, good or bad. But as men, we have issues in relationships. We never ask our brothers. Maybe because it's ego. Maybe because we don't want to look weak. Because the guy is gonna be like, say, man, because no man wants to go to the friend and be like, oh, my woman was talking back at me last night. She was being loud, or maybe my woman slapped me, or my woman is not cooking, or my woman is not doing this. Because most guys don't want to be looked at as weak. Because it's gonna be like, bro, you're letting your woman talk over you, you're letting your woman disrespect you, you're letting your woman not, no cook, yet you pay all the bills and things like that. So what most guys do, they don't speak up. They don't talk about what they're going through in their relationships. And then men suffer in silence, which is not good. And then, like I said, as a man, if you don't have the peace, it's going to affect other areas of your life. Now, that's why you will find, I want someone to prove me wrong. Look at your life, right? The times you are really productive and focusing as a man and things going well, more likely than not, two things happened. Either you were single or you were in a relationship where the woman was not getting on your nerves, where the woman was not arguing with you, she was not nagging. As a man, the moments in your life where you feel you are making progress in your life, either you were single or you had a woman who respected you and actually motivated you, or at least, to the very least, wasn't speaking negatively into your life. Because there's nothing as bad having a woman who never speaks peace, who never speaks positivity. You guys ever had someone who the only time they say something to you is complaining? Like, you'll do 8 things right, and then when you do the ninth thing wrong, the ninth thing wrong, that's when they complain. That's when they call you out. You feel me? It's like, why didn't you appreciate me for all these 8 things I did wrong? So out of the 10 things, I did 8 things wrong. 8 things right. You didn't say thank you. You didn't appreciate me. You didn't say how much of hard work I'm putting in. You only waited to complain when I did one thing wrong. Like, that's the worst kind of relationship. It could be a work relationship, it could be at work, it could be anywhere. But if, like, somebody doesn't appreciate you for the things you do right, and the only way to complain when you do something wrong, That's the worst kind of relationship, if I'm going to be honest. So most guys suffer in silence. Like for think about it. Think about the guys who are in sexless relationships, sexless marriages, right? How dare a man come tell other friends that his woman has not let him clap cheeks for 6 months? Guys are probably even gonna laugh at him. Even getting to him to that point of being that vulnerable to other men, most guys can't do it. But women, once the man stops paying the bills, if the man is not hitting it right, they run to their friends. So that's one thing women have better than men. They have that kind of unity, community. Now, it's bad in a way that they won't hold themselves accountable. Women will unite both on positive things and negative things. So if a woman is wrong, the friends will unite around her. So she will never learn, right? So that's why they say women hate accountability, because the friends never hold her accountable. And then when they also something positive, they will still unite together. Yeah, you're right. They run to social media too, but even on social media, they still have that, what do you call it? They have that unity on social media. The reason women run to social media, because they know other women in the comments are going to be justifying the BS they did. For example, we have seen videos of women saying, "Oh, I divorced a good man because I wanted to put myself first because I was losing myself. I didn't know who I am." Check, 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 check. Guys, give me a second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So I was saying, right? So I've seen videos where, yeah, I was saying, so if you check under those videos, you will literally see other women literally telling a woman divorcing a good man that she's doing the right thing. It's just funny how that works. So that's one thing women do very well. Like they unite together, even when something is dumb, even when it's the wrong thing, they will still hold themselves, uplift themselves. But for men, even when the worst thing happens, we never uplift each other. Like we never look out for each other. Because I don't know if it's ego. I don't know. Like as men, we have the whole every man for themselves. You know, maybe because we're stronger, but I don't know. That's what happens. What's up, KTV Radio? KTV Radio, what's up, bro? Welcome to the stream. You feel me? So men never speak up, man. All right. Nigel says their friends lie to them 90% of the time to protect their feelings, but when we lie to them to protect our relationships, we're the bad guys. True. Nigel, you're definitely right. Their friends. So women lie to themselves. I believe the reason women lie to themselves is because they want to be able to be in a position where other women will also support them if they do some BS. You feel me? For example, in a situation where a woman comes on TikTok, on social media, Instagram, and claims, "Oh my God, I'm divorcing a good man. He's a good man, but my feelings, I don't know myself. I need to find myself. I feel stuck. I feel like a slave. He's a good man, but blah, 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 blah." And then other women appalled her in the comments. Every woman who says anything positive about such a woman doing such a thing, divorcing a good man, any woman you see in the comments talking about, "Oh my God, put yourself first, never give your all to a man," she's hoping that when she says something dumb or she does something stupid, that other women will also support her the same way. That's the only reason women don't hold each other accountable, because they know at some point in their life they're going to do something dumb, and they're hoping they will have the sisterhood there to protect them. All right. Emmanuel says men to have their own clubs or men's group to grow. Literally, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, that was the one of the reasons I created this channel, because I know men never really speak out. So I was like, I mean, I might as well speak about things that I believe other guys go through, but they don't want to talk about it. So I'll start the conversation, or I'll give my perspectives, my opinions, and those who agree with me will they understand where I'm coming from, and they'll support me, or they'll subscribe to the channel, or they'll watch the show. You know, yeah, Emmanuel, men are logical, but we are also very egoistic. Is that the word? Egoistic or egoistic? Egoistic, I think. Our ego is so big, like, and it happens to me as well, man. I don't like to ask for help. Like, I will try to figure out a way to do something by myself, right? Before I ask for help. 100%. And obviously that's not good. So I'm very independent in that way. But I also believe, like, I'm like, let me try to exhaust all options before I ask for help, because I don't want to be in a position where, you know, have to rely on people. So I guess that's one of the weaknesses I got. Yeah, I know, Nigel, trust me, I know, but it's like, Prime. Prime says, I'll be honest, in this day and age, I don't know how dudes still date black women. Well, Pride, the truth is, black men still love black women. It's just the attitude that puts them off. Black men still love black women. I honestly believe if you get 10 men who date 10 black men who date white women, right? And you give them the option of what, and you ask him, so does the white woman treat you nice? Yes. Does she respect you? Yes. Does she, do the things that you like? And he says, yes, 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 yes. And you told him, okay, I'm going to give you a black woman, but she's going to do the same exact things that white woman does. I believe 99% of men, black men who date white women, would prefer a black woman if he could get a black woman who does the same exact things that white woman does. That's what I believe. That's why I'm saying I believe that most black men still love black women and want to be with black women. It's just that once you grow up around, obviously some guys grow up in single mother households, and then they see the chaos, and maybe they're not appreciated, and then they take them for granted. Some guys just get frustrated. So some guys have couple options. Some guys just give up on dating completely. They're like, you know what, rather than date white women, I'm just going to give up on dating black women and dating women at all. But some guys are like, you know what, let me try a different route. And that's definitely going to be a topic I'll talk about maybe next Sunday. But that's definitely something some guys do. They're like, right, let me try white women. And once they find that experience, they're like, oh, people can actually appreciate me and see me. And then he's like, you know what, I'm just going to keep dating white women. Because you'll be surprised how many men give their all, whether relationships, whether in the family, but they have never been appreciated by a black woman. And they've never even been appreciated by their own mom, by their own mother, even father. They've never got that love. And then they find a white woman, and everything he does, she says, thank you. She says, I appreciate you. She says, thank you for showing me love. Thank you for taking care of me. You'll be surprised how many black men pay bills on time every single day. They are active fathers. They do 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and they've never heard a consistent thank you. Maybe a thank you once in 5 years. And if the kids don't hear the mom saying thank you to the dad, how are they ever going to say thank you to the dad? Because they think he's supposed to do this. He should do this. That's why I was talking about how a man will do, out of 10 things, he will do 8 things right. And then the one time he does something wrong, the woman complains. So men are like, why am I not appreciated? And that's how some black men feel with black women. It's like they never hear those words of affirmation. You know how women are always saying, oh, I want a man who was, or women like to say, my love language is words of affirmation. But what they mean is, I want a man to say nice things to me. They never say those things to a man. Why? Because they believe a man is supposed to do for them. They were not taught what to do things for a man, how to do things for a man, because they think that's slavery. So some guys are like, you know what, rather than being here and I don't even feel appreciated, because men like to feel appreciated. Like when a man spends $500 on a woman, he's not looking for her to spend $500 on him. He just wants to hear, baby, thank you, you're the best. Most guys, that will do the trick. Most guys, that will do the trick. And I've said it before, like most guys will be willing to spend as much money on a woman as they can if they feel the woman appreciates it. But most guys, like I told you, most guys don't get the appreciation for doing what they can. In fact, women call it the bare minimum. Think about it like this. How many times have you gone on a date with a woman and she said thank you? How many times have you left a first date with a woman? I don't care if you've spent $5. I don't care if you've spent $1,000. Think about in your life, the dates you've been to, right? How many dates have you been to with a black woman and she said thank you? How many? I'll wait. How many? Right? And that's what most guys go through. So again, most black men love black women. It's just the attitude. It's just the lack of appreciation. It's just the lack of, feeling like they are appreciated and they matter. Because if all I'm doing, if you have expectations for me, but when I have expectations for you, you feel like it's slavery, then that's not a good deal. So most men are sitting down and doing the math like, okay, if you have a list of 10 things you want me to do for you, but you don't have a list of things you want to do for me, how do I gain again? Like, how is this a fair deal? Because the relationship is a give or take thing, right? That's what makes it a relationship. You give something, you receive something. And that's all black men want. Like, okay, I will protect and provide. I'll try my best to do everything that you want. But what do I get? And what do women say? I'm the table. I'm the prize. And men are like, once a man goes through that 10, 15, 20, 50 times, he's like, so I'm just going to keep giving, but not even receive any appreciation. Most guys are like, fuck this, man. I don't do it. So guys are like, no dating at all. All guys are like, I'll try elsewhere. Yeah, I agree, Emmanuel. Nigel, I definitely agree. He just want to feel appreciated. Black men have always loved black women. It's the state of things. Emmanuel, yeah, most black men love black women. If they could get the bad attitude, in fact, I honestly believe that um, even if a black woman doesn't appreciate a black man, like even if you pay for everything and she doesn't say thank you, as long as the attitude is okay, most guys will be okay with it. So even if she's not going to do this, you know how they snatch souls and do the fingers and loud voice and ratchet. A man will be okay with a woman who doesn't appreciate what he does. minus the attitude and I'm this and like you know that what I'm talking about. Most guys will be okay with it. That's what I believe. Yeah, the entitlement is crazy. Like when you want to go on a date with a woman, you're like, hey, let's go take a coffee date. And right away, she tells you, I only do dinner dates. You're like, I don't even know you. Like, I'm just trying to are you trying to get to know me? Or are you trying to have dinner? You know, it's just the entitlement, man. So when men think about it, you're like, okay, is it worth it? Like, because remember, guys, I think most guys forget the fact that when you meet a woman, the first engagement with a woman, what you let her get away with, how she treats you, how she talks to you, how she responds to you, how you respond to her, the first form of engagement, the first level and temperature level of engagement, how you go with it is how she's going to treat you going forward. For example, you're like, hey, I'd like to get to know you. Let's go get a drink. Let's go get a coffee, whatever, walk in the park, whatever, those things women think are bare minimum. And she's like, I only do dinner dates. The moment you say yes, Pandora's box. From that time on, even if you guys get into a relationship, she knows all she has to say is to show you the entitlement, is to tell you what she wants, that what you want doesn't matter. All she wants is what she wants, and you have to listen to it. Why? Because the first time you suggested to go get a coffee date, she said she only does dinner dates, and you said yes. So you messed up from the beginning. You feel me? And that's the issue most guys run into. So as a man, you have to be very, very, very careful, man, in the first rules of engagement. Because what you don't know as a man, you literally just did a handshake with a woman with regards to how the relationship is going to go. You say, let's go for a coffee date, right? How do I do this? You say, let's go for a coffee date. She said, I only do the dinner dates. The moment you say yes, you just did a handshake on the type of relationship you guys are going to have for the rest of the time you're going to know her. So every time you're even going to say, baby, so let's say fast forward, you guys get into a relationship and then you're like, hey, baby, I got a job in this town and it pays this. Even if it pays good and the money is going to benefit you, right? She will say no, that she doesn't want you to go to a different town to earn money that's going to help both of you. She will say she doesn't like the town only because when you first met her, you say you want to do a coffee date. She said, I only do the dinner dates. And you said yes. So you set the tone. You literally told her how to treat you. I'm not saying don't, think about what she likes and, put in and, think about and consider what she likes. No, I'm not saying that. You definitely should consider what your woman wants. But I'm saying in the beginning, if there's something that you want and she suggests, let's do this, and you say yes, and you suggest, let's do this, and she says, no, let's do this, and you say yes, that's how your relationship is going to go the whole entire process. And that's on you, bro. That's on you. So as a man, you definitely have to stand on your square. A woman that is a ride or die, what does Eminem say? A woman that is ride or die would always appreciate her man and his vision. Yeah. That's true, but it's gonna be very rare to find a ride or die these days, man. Anyway, man, this was a good first nice Sunday live stream. Thank you for all the guys who came into the chat. Terminator says they confuse a favor. Look at Terminator here. He says they confuse a favor with an obligation. That's facts, Terminator. You're definitely right. It's like entitlement. Goes back to the entitlement. So guys, like my video, man. I want other people to come check it out. Barry, what are you saying? What? Barry, what are you saying? What to? I don't know what you're saying. What to? Barry Washington, what are you talking about? Yeah, I think definitely next Sunday, guys. I'm gonna be doing this every Sunday. Every Sunday, I'll be coming on so we can have a chat, me and you guys. I know some of you guys just watch my reaction videos and things like that, but I'm definitely going to be doing my Sundays. I'm just going to be bringing different topics that we can have a conversation about, just share ideas as men, man. Sometimes it's very tough to find a space where men can just chat about what they're going through. So again, I'll put, Emmanuel, what are you saying? A content creator said something that, and it was, if a woman likes you on a date, you may not spend anything, have a good time. Emmanuel, I agree. You don't have to spend anything if a woman likes you. But here's my question, right? Here's my question. How many women are you going to find that don't want you to spend anything? That's question number one. Question number two, are you going to keep looking for that woman that don't want you to spend anything? Question number three, where are you going to find that woman? Question number four, what, unless you're going to say no. For example, if you tell a woman, let's go take a walk in the park, that every woman you ask to take a walk in the park, and she says, no, I prefer a restaurant, and you say no, and you just move on, unless that's what you're going to do until you find a woman who says you don't have to spend anything. A woman who doesn't want you to spend anything will let you know from the beginning, because she knows most men are thinking about the fact that they don't want to spend too much. So she will let you know from the beginning. But it's like, where, when, and where are you going to find that type of woman? For example, so in other words, you're looking for something that is almost impossible to find, in my opinion. Sure, she doesn't want you to spend anything, but when? Until when? Sure, in the beginning, she doesn't want you to spend anything, but until when? You feel me? So that's the tough thing to overcome, because at some point she's going to want you to spend something. At some point, that's what I believe. Are they there? Sure, but I'm not going to live my life hoping to find a woman who doesn't want me to spend anything. Because even when a woman who doesn't want you to spend anything on the first date, or you're having a good time, eventually, let's say you get into a relationship, you're going to have to spend something. Eventually, you're going to go on dates anyway. So it's like, it's tough. So guys, here's the link for those who want to send me different things, videos to react to. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, here's the link right there. You can just click it so you can go follow me on Instagram. You just send me the link of videos you want me to react to, and then I'll do that for sure. Because I have so many videos I haven't posted. I need to post those videos. So I'm going to be coming out with new videos this week. But for this Sunday live stream, I'm just going to be having conversations with you guys every Sunday. So be looking out for that, where we can discuss these issues, man. Because believe you me, like I said, men suffer in silence. Men don't like to talk about these issues. And then before you know it, you're wondering why you've been going through an issue that other guys have been going through, when you could have had a conversation to see, because it's so refreshing to find someone you're like, bro, I was going through these things, like, oh yeah, me too, bro. How did you overcome that? Like, I think as men, if we can bridge that gap rather than trying to fight the war by ourselves, figure of speech war, like trying to figure out life by ourselves, I think it's easier. You feel me? That's what I believe. Because as men, we like to be, soul survivors, lone fighters, lone wolves. We like to be, what's the word? Islands. But I don't think that's helpful to anyone. So, guys, like my video. Emmanuel, what he's saying, Emmanuel says, I think she likes you. She would expect you to lead. She's happy to be with you. Right? Is it rare but possible? Yeah. But see, Emma, personally, I don't work on possibilities. I work on probabilities. What's the probability she exists? The probability is very low. So for that reason, I'm not out here looking for the unicorn. And like I said, okay, Let's say you find this woman, right? What kind of friends does she have? Chances are the friends that she has are feminists. So when you guys have issues in your relationship, who is she going to run to? The friends. So eventually, chances are, you feel me? You see where I'm going with this? Eventually, some of those friends too may, you know, whatever they say may get into her. Because now remember, when she goes to her friends, she's emotional about something. So she's not thinking straight. So whatever her friends say, it will find its way into your relationship. Emmanuel, what do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. That's almost 3 hours. Every Sunday, I'll be here again. Every Sunday, I'll be streaming. We gotta have this conversation. We gotta have fun. You feel me? Nice Sunday, fun day, topics, conversations. All right, every Sunday. Don't forget to like the video. All right. So until next time, peace out.